Let's be real. Letting go doesn't just break your heart, it breaks your narrative. We hold on, not because it's right, but because it once arrived during times of scarcity. And anything looks divine when you're starving. We cling onto people, patterns, and paths, not because they healed our wounds, but because they distracted us from it. And that's the trap. Thinking it came when I needed means it was sent to stay. But not everything that calms your chaos was designed to carry your calling. Fear is a subtle architect. It builds stories around pain and calls them memories. We hold on not out of love, but out of panic that this broken thing might be the last thing that wants us. So we romanticize the ruin. We name dysfunction destiny just to make staying feel noble. But real love, divine love, won't keep you guessing. It won't whisper peace while planting doubt. God doesn't send contradictions. He doesn't mask confusion as comfort. He doesn't bless you in one breath and break you in the next. What came into your life when you were cracked open wasn't always a blessing. Sometimes it was just a mirror you didn't fall into. You reached for it. We love to say we're waiting on God, but most of us are waiting for something that talks back loud enough to drown our silence. We open doors in desperation and act surprised when chaos walks in like it pays rent. But here's what I've learned. If you have to force it to fit, it was never stitched by heaven. You won't have to beg what is divine to feel like home. The right thing won't ask you to shrink your soul, to bend your boundaries just to keep its attention. If it requires more explanation than expression, that's not alignment, that's survival. And God doesn't bless what still sits on the altar. We don't return because we love it. We return because it's familiar, because we confuse routine with refuge. Some love stories weren't really love. They were just long goodbyes disguised as comfort. Some places didn't nurture you. They numbed you, and now you're mistaking numbness for peace. You can't rebuild in the ruins that once buried your identity. You can't plant joy in the same soil that grew your anxiety. But we keep walking back into prisons with better lighting and calling it progress. Here's the truth. If God pulled you out, He wasn't just saving you. He was saving what He put in you. Cycles aren't broken by willpower. They're broken by wisdom. And wisdom says your future can't grow in yesterday's cage. Here's a truth that hurts before it heals. You can't blame God for what you never consulted Him about. You wanted it. You chased it. You called it a sign because it once arrived during times of loneliness. But not every presence has purpose. Not every knock is meant to be answered. Some doors stay open, not out of discernment, but out of fear. And now you're in cleanup mode for something that you never should have built. Still, His grace remains. He's not done just because you are. He still calls you higher, but only if you're willing to surrender what you swore you couldn't live without. Clarity rarely screams. It arrives in silence and stillness. When you stop scrambling, you hear what's been true all along. He speaks in the spaces where your ego finally takes a breath. He heals when you stop patching wounds with warm bodies and loud affirmations. He restores when you return, not perfect, but present. You don't need another prophecy. You need peace. And peace doesn't yell, it anchors. It holds you when chaos can't. It grounds you when distractions whisper your name. Letting go isn't giving up. It's giving back what was never yours to hold. What's from God won't feel like a negotiation. You won't have to exhaust your spirit just to keep your spot. You won't have to dim your truth just to be relevant in someone else's life. His gifts pour into you. They don't pull from you. They build what's been broken. They speak to the prayers that you once whispered when no one was around. But you can't grip the counterfeit and expect authenticity to land. You have to let go, not just with your hands, but with your heart. You were never built to carry what was never assigned to you. Your soul knows. It knows the weight of alignment. It knows when something isn't a burden. It's a blessing in disguise. God's love doesn't hold you hostage. It frees you. It reminds you that the silence wasn't neglect. It was protection. The delay wasn't punishment. It was preparation. And now you choose. Not just to leave something behind, but to walk forward toward healing, toward truth, toward Him. Because what's from God, you won't have to beg to keep. Listen. I know letting go hurts, but staying in what God never sent hurts in ways that healing can't reach. So trust Him with your story, with your surrender, with the chapters that you still don't understand. Because when you finally let go, you realize He wasn't withholding, He was waiting. And what is next is worth every release. It's as simple as that.